So very difficult. The figures, sadly, don't speak to that. When this government came into power, let me start with 2014. In 2014, I think the fatality figure in Nigeria was 13,000. I mean, 13,000 Nigerians died in 2014. Now, when the Buhari administration came into power in 2015, it hovered around 6,000, then went to 7,000, and then between that year, 2016, up until, let's say, 2021, it hovered 6,000, 7,000, 8,000. Last year, it increased to 2011. Now, part of the reason why we saw that increase is politics, rightly, because in the pre-election year, a lot of the security challenges increased. And so, of course, the fatality figures also increased. Like I said, 11,000 persons died in that year. So a little bit difficult. I know the Global Terrorism Index have shown an increase, but remember, it is only recording terrorism, and terrorism is just one of the security challenges that feeds into our fatality figure for the year. In Beacon Consulting, we look at about 11 different security challenges. Terrorism is one out of those 11. So yes, we've seen an improvement in terrorism, but the other ones have also added to this 11,000 that I mentioned for 2022. Good news is that in 2023, in the first month of the year, we've seen a reduction. In this month, last month rather, we've also seen a reduction. So if that is sustained, both by this government and the incoming administration, then we're likely to look at the year, at the end of this year, and say, well, maybe 5,000 or even less than that, 5,000, which is an improvement. But suffice to say, in direct response to your question, I'm not yet comfortable. It's not yet Uhuru for Nigeria. It meant the provisions of the revised National Security Strategy 2019, yes. That document was launched. And we've looked at that document. It's a beautiful document. It speaks of a philosophy of security that is modern. So it's not a state-centric approach to security. It's an approach to security that is human, that sees you as a human being, that sees me as a human being, that sees every Nigerian as a human being, and not just the rich Nigerian. Every Nigerian is to be catered for under that strategy. Now, the idea of that revised national strategy is that other arms of government will pick it up and produce operational documents from it. Sadly, 2019 till date, we haven't seen that. So we have a beautiful document, beautiful strategy that is not operationalized. Now, the second point is getting the buy-in of the states. Security does not happen in a vacuum. It happens at the state level. Now, whether we change the constitution to make security come in the concurrent list, or we leave it as it is right now, where only the federal government has jurisdiction over security, the point is that we need the buy-in of the states. And so that would be number two. Number three is to make sure that we introduce M&E, monitoring and evaluation within our security system, so that during parliamentary interaction between the parliament and members of the security sector, they can ask them critical questions using data. Data is the way to go in security. If when they are appointing the IG or any of the service chiefs or anyone in security for that matter, when this National Assembly is engaging with that person and they can look at him in the face and say, today, kidnap for ransom is 1,000 in a month. We're giving you this budgetary allocation that you've requested for. By the time we're engaging with you, we want you to reduce it to 100. And when he now comes back to them in another parliamentary hearing, and they now notice that the figure is above that 100 that they've given him the directive to go and reduce, that it is at that point that if he doesn't give them a satisfactory answer, they recommend to Mr. President, change this person. That is the way to go. Of course, the executive system should also have its internal mechanism for this M&E function that I've mentioned, so that they, on their own, are able to know who among these persons that are being appointed are effective and those ones that are not effective. At the moment, I am, with all sense of responsibility, not comfortable and not happy with how the M&E functions, monitoring and evaluation functions within the security sector. Too many things happened in 2022 and not one person was penalized. I can quickly mention them to you, starting from the train attack, Abuja-Kaduna train attack, the Ondo church incident, the Kuje attack, name them. Not one person has been penalized for that, and it's simply because our M&E monitoring and evaluation, as well as supervisory, and then lastly auditing functions within the security sector are almost non-existent. So we need to strengthen that, so that anyone who is appointed in a security position knows that he's accountable to the Nigerian people. If he's not able to perform, then there will be consequences. Right now, there are no consequences for non-performance.